Ahoy, landlubbers, it's your Captain Vasco here for another MTG Arena draft. Today we have a decision to make. Hello and welcome. Dominaria is both. It's competitive, which I think will be the case until the next set, M19, comes out. But it's also our quick draft. Oh dear. Nego says, the freezer is broken, the oven exploded, and you have to have a root canal in the morning. Yeah, it's not a great day. I am sorry to hear that. Hopefully we can have some fun here, and then everything will go amazing, and all of your problems will be fixed tomorrow in a single day. So instead of it being a bad day, it'll be a great day. I don't know. Dentist is a bit stabby? Nego, I feel like you need to move to a parallel universe. All of your stories are terrifying. I don't know. I'm undecided here. I mean, Quick Draft does give us the possibility of drafting twice if one of our drafts is just bad. That might be nice. Let's give that a shot, I guess. Pling. Alright. Pay in gems. Yes. Alright, so, we're doing the feud. So, what do we have here? This pack is not terrible, like some of the packs we've opened so far. Tempest Djinn is fine. Since you're not likely to be just one color in draft, this card isn't as good as it wants to be. Like, Tempest Djinn is sort of a mono-blue deck payoff. Where, like, if you play 6 islands, then this thing is a 6/4 for 3 mana. But if you have, like, 3 islands and 3 swamps or something, it's a 3 mana 3/4, which is still, like, pretty good, but, like, not amazing first pick territory. Danitha Capuchin is great. I've seen it in a variety of decks, and frankly, she's just always impressed. Hey, Anime, welcome to the stream. We've just started our draft. How are you doing today? Also in this pack, Eldest Reborn. I think we've played against this. I don't think we've ever played it ourselves. For 5 mana, it's a saga, so when you play it, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Then on your following turn when you draw, each opponent has to discard a card. And then you get to take a creature or planeswalker from someone's graveyard. So it could be something they had to discard, or your best creature. It's pretty good. This card does a lot of work. I've played against it a few times, and it's always really harsh. I think it's pretty easily the best card in this pack, even though Danitha is great and Tempest Djinn is pretty good. Nothing else in the common slot is particularly close. I like Sapherd, but it's not close in power level to any of those 3 cards I mentioned. I'm going to take Eldest Reborn and see what happens. That's a nice and not particularly lofty dream, Neko, to live far away from your current location, have a cat, and ice cream. I'm sure that will work out for you. I hope that day comes sooner rather than later. You have to repaint your kitchen walls, Anime? Are you moving or something? What caused the need? Ooh, interesting. I've never actually seen Arvad the Cursed in a draft pack. He's 5 mana for a 3/3 Death Touch lifelink, and then also other legendary creatures get +2/+2. So I mean, like, there's a good number of legendary creatures in this set, especially since, like, there's a bunch of uncommon ones. But I don't think that line of text comes up super often in Limited. However, Lifelink and Death Touch are both strong abilities. So, like, if he's the biggest guy on the field, when he's attacking, you're gaining life every time he attacks. If you're on defense, he has Death Touch, so he trades with some big thing that they have. Also, you already have a black card, so being in black's not unreasonable. Something like Invoke the Divine becomes a little better in Quick Draft, where you kind of want a main deck, maybe a sideboard card or 2. Something I've picked up on from my attempts to do this so far. Stronghold Confessor's okay. Dark Bargain also pretty good. Gitu Chronicler pretty good, but I don't know. I think I might rate this card a little low, but, like, I don't think it's a second pick card when there's, like, other stuff that feels like it's worth considering. I mean, it's probably, realistically, I think it's probably between, like, Arvad and Gitu Chronicler. But since we're already one of these colors, and I'm kind of interested to try this, I'm inclined to go with Arvad. There's also Woodland Cemetery is pretty good, but like this would be more for like our collection, since I don't think you want to pick fixing this early since you have no clue what colors you're gonna be in. Everything else in the pack kind of whatever. So I'm gonna try Arvad. The house sort of goes without saying, Neko. Well, also, the house that goes without saying also goes without saying that it shouldn't leak or be moldy. We're not moving. Mom just finished retiling the kitchen floor to up the value. While most of the walls were free, she wanted to repaint because she thought it needed to be repainted. I see. That does make sense, anime. I don't know. Like, my family has over time done some number of renovation projects, but they still feel like something I don't expect to just, like, randomly happen. Like, there's some cause for it. Often moving, but, like, no. Here I think this is an easy pick. Like, again, cons are fine. Like, Foot Tower Candle is, like, playable. Goblin War Chief isn't great in this set. The Omnivore is pretty good, but so far we're not exactly on the many tokens plan. Deathbloom Thou also pretty good, but Quende is legendary and also just pretty good. So he's a 4-mana 2/2 double strike, so it's like kind of like he has 4 power in a way. Because if he goes unblocked, then he deals 4 damage, and if something does block him, assuming it doesn't kill him in first strike, he can deal 4 damage to it. Not only that, but he is a legendary creature, which combos with Arvad, which, you know, shouldn't be our utmost priority, but, you know, so far we don't have anything particularly resembling a curve. This card is pretty strong. I think if Quende wasn't here, it would be between Thallid Omnivore and Deathbloom Thallid, which may indicate that we're in the right colors, or at least color, sort of. But I'm interested in trying to go on a heavy legendary deck, which probably is folly, but it sounds fun. Okay, so this pack's not extremely strong. It does, however, have a white-black land that we could use in our draft deck to make our mana better. Another sort of medium pack. Mammoth Spider, I think I've mentioned that I think I like it more than the average person. Homered Explorer is, like, playable, but not very exciting. Kind of the same with Gift of Growth. And Rampaging Cyclops to some extent. Memorial to Unity is, like, pretty good. Might actually be the best card in this pack. Which, you know, isn't super exciting. I think I'm definitely going to take this. I'm still not totally convinced that white-black is correct, but so far so good. Okay. Macy Unicorn's pretty strong. Sentry's also good, but we could stand to lower our curve. Fire Intervention, the slate's a sign that red might be open, but Fire Intervention's also sort of okay in terms of removal. Like, removal is still better than most cards, but a 5-mana removal spell is expensive and slow. Can't, like, usually cast other spells with it unless you're in the super late game, so pretty slow. It is nice, though, especially in a quick draft, that it just has the mode to destroy an artifact. I'm gonna go with the Unicorn. It's just a pretty strong card. It's kind of a late Thallid Soothsayer. This card's definitely better with, like, tokens. Has the ability, pay 2 mana, sacrifice a creature, draw a card. So, like, it's better when you have a bunch of, like, just nonsense 1/1s around that you can, like, chump block with and then draw a card for free. Dub isn't terrible. I'm not super excited about this card. Dark Bargain's, like, kind of similar. If we had more, like, low drops, I'd consider taking this a little higher. I mean, these are both 4-mana cards. Dub is a 3-mana card. But, I don't know. Card draw seems potentially good. Also, I guess we're okay for creatures right now. I'm gonna try this. Not sure about that being correct. What do we have here? Green looks like it might be a little open. This is a somewhat late Landmore Envoy considering how bad the rest of this pack is. Like, this entire top row is just, like, unplayable. Like, Healing Grace, Memorial to War. These cards are all bad. Oh yeah, look at at that. That's it's Corona, the false god. I'm sure I noticed that at some point, but I forgot about it. Primordial Worm being here, like, this is probably the best card in the pack. I don't know, we've seen some weird signals here. I'm still inclined to believe that black-white is somewhat open here. And the cards we have so far in those colors are better than most of the other stuff we're seeing. So I'm going to take this Rat Colony just to sort of fill out our deck. Not hoping to play this, but I will if I have to. Ooh, okay, Stronghold Confessor. Not bad. Other cards, Primordial Worm and Fire Elemental are both okay. Spraying Gateway is kind of interesting. I don't think it's good in Limited, even if we're trying to sort of make a historic deck. Which we kind of are. We've already got a Saga and 2 Legendaries. But, like, it's basically 8 mana over 2 turns to, like, get your first advantage out of it. It's pretty slow. I think I'd rather have just a creature, even though, like, we're kind of heavy on force. Like, generally you don't want to play this thing as a 1-drop, even though you can, just because it's not that strong as a 1-drop. This pack is sort of bad. This thing triggers off Historic and is in one of our colors, so I'll probably take that. Anything worth noting about the rest of these? Not really. Frenzied Rage. None of these cards are great. I'll take the Adventurous Impulse. Green seems like it might be open, and we already have the Thallid Soothsayer. Somehow we end up going into green. So that, like, if we end up doing black-green token things, that there's some synergy there. I don't really need a 1,000th bad 4-drop, but I guess I could take the Tragic Poet to go with our Eldest Reborn. It's a little bit fringy, but it's not the worst interaction I've ever seen. Rat Colony number 2. Arguably, they get better if you have more of them. This thing cares about being legendary, but I'm unlikely to play it. A horrendous green card. Okay. So we've opened a white legendary rare, so that's pretty good. Anything that makes me want to consider not taking it. Goblin Barrage is a card I rarely see, but is pretty good. 4 mana sorcery. You can kick it by sacrificing an artifact or a goblin. Its normal mode deals 4 damage to a creature, but if you kicked it, then it also deals 4 damage to a player or a planeswalker. It's pretty good. Dealing 4 damage to something kills, like, most things in the format. Kicker's not all that relevant, but can be helpful. Skizzik, I still am not entirely sure how to evaluate this card. I think I talked a little bit about this last time we drafted. I think it's good, but it's not great. I mean, I kind of feel the same about Evra, but Evra's, like, on theme here, right? Like, it's a big old white card, trying to play black-white, because that continues to look pretty good. It's legendary, so Arvad can make it bigger. Again, not that that's the biggest concern in the world, but, like, most of the rest is, you know, we're not looking at, like, removal spells that we were taking Evra over, or something like that, even. Like, if we were to stay on color, the next best card in the pack is easily this Call of the Cavalry. And then after that, like, I don't know, Divest. If we were going to branch randomly into a new color, it'd be Goblin Barrage, but we didn't see a lot of signs that red was open, and this card's a little bit too good for what we already have to just, like, randomly make that decision, I think. Ooh, Seal Away's an awesome pick to go with this deck. And a decent sign that, like, again, I think we're in the right colors. So it's basically like a 2-mana instant speed removal spell, as long as they don't have, like, a Vigilance creature as the biggest problem that you need to remove. But nothing else here is particularly close. Cabal Stronghold's kind of, like, fun for the collection. I don't think it's very good in draft, because, again, you're not usually monocolor. Dot Omnivore continues to be good. Call the Cavalry's okay. Just, like, not, this pack is medium. But Seal is great, and it's mine now. That's interesting. Oh, this is a very interesting pack. So, wow. Okay, I don't actually know what to do here. So, first off, we have Tashar, Ancestor's Apostle. It itself is a legendary creature that cares about historic. So, you know, we have a decent number of historic things right now. We could use it to bring back our Rat Colony and Mesa Unicorn. Admittedly not the most exciting thing in the world. We literally have nothing that costs 3. So that kind of makes me rule out Tashar, even though I'd be reasonably happy to have a Tashar. Sarah Angel's quite good. 5 mana for a 4/4 flying vigilance. Like, it may be uncommon, but it has the power level of a rare. Fungal infection. Decent black removal spell. Blessed Light is a much better white removal spell, even though it is expensive. So, like, I think it pretty easily comes down to the choice between Sarah Angel and Blessed Light. I don't actually know which one I expect to be better. So far we have, like, one proper removal spell, but Sarah Angel is pretty strong. Like, the few times I've actually faced it in draft, it's actually pretty difficult to deal with in this format. We also don't have... We have, like, 2 5s, which, you know, isn't no 5s. But Blessed Light would be a 5 also. It's pretty close, but I think I'm going to take the Sarah Angel, and this might be wrong. I'm not really sure. Yeah. Alright, got Dub, got Shivan Fire, so maybe red is open. Oh, also Wizard's Lightning? Wow, okay. It seems like in this direction, black is a little less open, which kind of makes sense since it seemed more open the other way. This pack's got a lot of stuff for not us, which is interesting. It's Blue Legends. Know how great this card is in Limited. It's not bad. 2 red removal spells, both of which quite good. Like, even without playing Wizards, Wizard's Lightning is good. Sapling Migration can be good, or it can not be great, like the deck we played it in recently. So, like, if I was just gonna, like, stay on color, I could take my first 3-drop of Dub. It doesn't seem like it's tremendously on theme. We could put it on Quende, make him a double knight, but, like, also make him a 4/4 double strike, which is, you know, the relevant part of that. Although it also has synergy in the respect that we could put it on something that isn't Quende, give it first strike, and then his ability would give the other creature that has first strike double strike. So that's, I mean, that's not nothing. The question is, do I, like, hedge a little bit with red? And that's actually kind of a tough call. I mean, I don't want to be playing a 3-color deck, but, you know, every bit of fixing helps you play multiple colors more easily, even if it's not the correct fixing, because it leaves more room for playing, like, mountains in this case. I mean, how likely am I to really... So I guess I could cut most of my black and still be pretty happy. I think I'm committed to white more so at this point. I think I would splash for, like, Arvad and Eldest Reborn, at least. Maybe I should hedge. I would take the Shivan Fire. It has higher upside. It's close, but I'm going to take it. Okay. Okay. Suddenly a blue card. That's good. I don't think blue is actually very open. Urza's Ruinous Blast actually could be decent in this deck. So far we have Quende, Arvad, and Evra as possible legendary creatures to cast the Urza's Ruinous Blast. I would like, I think, 1 or 2 more before getting excited about this card. But the next best card in the pack is Gideon's Reproach, which isn't amazing. I think I'm going to take the Ruinous Blast. As much as I don't like this card, the effect seems quite strong. Plus, you know, I have Eldest Reborn to get back one of our legendaries. Like, the nice thing about Urza's Ruinous Blast is if it works, like, it's a rat that can potentially keep your best thing on the board. So, like, it destroys all their stuff and some of yours, but then you keep your best stuff. And, like, that's the kind of position you want to be in. It's a little bit speculative. I'm going to try it. Nothing really good in this pack. I think I'd take Call the Cavalry, but like... I mean, I guess I'm happier to play it than the Cabal Paladin at the very least. Got Adamant Will, another Rat Colony. I'm a little hesitant to go in on the Rat Colony since apparently everyone like main decks Radiant Lightnings. Was there a full moon right now, Neko? I think I heard that it's supposed to be called a Strawberry Moon tonight. Hashtag dating this live stream. Just something something you can see Saturn. Something something space something. Again, I think I'm just gonna take... So, like, it's between Rat Colony and Adamant Will. Like, nothing else seems relevant. I already have 2 Rat Colony, and even though they get better, you know, there are things that just ping 1 health guys, and Adamant Will seems, like, slightly more likely to make my deck. Yeah, I think it's just pretty easy, like, white 2-drop. Nothing else in this pack makes me want to consider doing something stupid. There are some red cards, but none of these are particularly good. So just take a white thing to fill out my curve. I think this is our first pack. If the player reveals their hand, you can choose an artifact or creature card from it. They discard it. Yeah? Guess? Oh, nice. Sergeant at Arms. That's like a really good pickup for us. We don't have many 3s, and late game it does something extra. Nice. Fervent Strike, in case we're accidentally red. Wow, the dub came back around. Super good at magic. Planned it this way. Healing Grace, because it's in our colors. Unwind, because it's the only card. Alright, what do we have here? Marwyn, I think I've discussed. I don't think it's very good and limited. It's not bad. I don't think it's very good. Dawn's Bodyguard is pretty good. How good is it in this deck, though? It's definitely a more aggressive card. I mean, like, it's nice that it sort of has 2 modes, right? I can spend 1 mana to play it early, and it's like an aggressive 2-1 that can, you know, attack for 2 early on, before they have creatures down or whatever. But if you play it late, it has the ability to, like, choose another creature, and you can sacrifice the Dauntless Bodyguard to, like, protect that other creature. Other options, Blink of an Eye, although again I don't think blue is open, so that feels pretty ambitious. Yargle is an on-color legend. It's not a good one, but it is that thing I said. Jousting Lance might actually be the pick. Again, Voltaic Servant's great with Traxos and pretty lackluster without it. Aether Glider is okay. Usually I tend to only play it if I have to. It's, I'm actually not sure I would cut this. Yeah, this is mostly what our deck looks like. I'm going to put this in the 4 slot because it'll let me do that, apparently. So, like, how aggressive are we realistically? Our 2s are bad, and 3s are not super exciting. Like, we seem to be more of a control deck, so I think the Lance ends up being a little better than the Bodyguard. Bodyguard's a really good card, but I think this is probably right. Ooh, Wind Bolus's Clutches. That's a card that makes me want to be in blue. Even though I shouldn't be in blue. Luckily we have something on color to take, although this pack is like a bunch of stuff in colors we're not playing that I would like. In Bolus's Clutches, Blink of an Eye, Grun the Lonely King. I'd like to play all of those. Probably like to play all of those more than Vicious Offering, but I am happy enough to take Vicious Offering. Goes with our increasingly, like, sort of control angle. Could still use some more, like, 3-drops, I think. Ooh, Oldest Reborn. Second copy is still quite good. There's also not a lot of competition in the pack. Valdek is kind of an interesting card, but it doesn't actually look like we're supposed to be in red. I don't think I will play the Shivan Fire. We'll see what happens. That seemed like a pretty, like, low opportunity cost to take that over, like, I think it was like another copy of Dub. I don't think our deck needs a lot of copies of Dub. Eldest Reborn's great, though. Ooh, Knight of Malice? Nice. Okay, this direction is the direction we'll be getting our black cards from, which we already knew, but still. Knight of Malice this late, right after being just gifted an Eldest Reborn. Nice. Be happy with that. Ooh, and a late Eviscerate? Oh yeah, our deck's coming together. Oh, Windgrace. How many 5s do we have? It's a few now, right? 2 Eldest Reborn, Urza's Ruinous Blast, Arvad, Sarah Angel. Urza's Ruinous Blast is a little sketchy, still. I still think that this Windgrace Acolyte's probably the best card for our deck. Fungal Plots is a sweet card. I don't think you usually want more than one of it, even if you're like really heavy on that deck. Welcome, Kat. We're just about to finish up our draft, I think. How are you doing today? This deck is looking pretty sweet. Yeah, it's definitely, this has to be the right card to take. I just don't know if it ends up making the cut. Another one of this guy at 4. Yeah, I think I'd rather have more okay 4-drops than bad 6-drops. I've got some like pretty good top-end stuff. I think I will take this Invoke the Divine and probably main deck it since we're doing a quick draft. I think I like that plan. Rat Colony, Blood Tallow Candle, Adamant Will, Volatile Servant. This pack's actually not bad for how late in the pack we are. I think I take the Blood Tallow Candle just in case I need like slightly more questionable removal. Would have been nice to get like maybe one more legend out of this pack, but can't really complain. I don't think I'll play any of these cards. It's probably between Thallid Omnivore and Wanderer for us, but like our deck's not particularly omnivorous. Welcome, Oliver. I didn't see you come in. Are we having chat issues? Everyone's still there? Alright, let's... I don't know. Wanderer? I don't care. Sentinel seems okay. Probably not playing it. Don't know if I main deck the second Invoke the Divine. I get that Scholar. Okay, we did the thing. So, let's take a look at our deck now. I'm pretty happy with the deck. So, I don't think I'm ambitious enough to actually play the Shivan Fire. To look through the MTG Arena card list, there's a chance of just Thopter deck being viable. Well, here's the problem with that right now, Kat, is that as long as Goblin Chain Whirler exists, I think the Thopter deck is, like prematurely hosed. Let's see, I don't think I want Adamant Will, probably. What cards is this? Ugh. I can get more information at a glance. It wants me to cut 4, and then I will have 17 lands. Okay, so that's probably about right. So I put one of my invokes in the sideboard. I should probably cut Soothsayer? Paladin's probably worse. We don't actually have that many legendary historic guys. Cut Connie. I think with double Eldest Reborn, I do legitimately want to play this Tragic Poet. Like, these are just very strong. Being able to, like, play basically 3 copies of them seems, like, real harsh for our opponents. I think I want Blood Tallow Candle just to have a little bit more removal. Still need 2 cuts. I cut the other Rat Colony. How many actual removal spells do we have? We have Seal Away Vicious Offering, Invoke Kind of, Eviscerate. The way this deck came together, I think I still like that Sarah Angel over Blessed Light pick. What do I think about the Windgrace Acolyte? Candle over Divest. I mean, yeah, what? Like, Divest is, like, definitely, like, playable. I think I do genuinely like Candle more than Divest. Just because, like, Divest is real bad as a late game draw. It's, like, much better early game, granted. But if you top deck the candle, like, it can still be an out to, like, just killing a thing. And while I like our removal, we don't have, like, a ton of it. So, like, I think I like having the -5/-5. Now, the correct play might be to just, like, cut some more chaff, because we definitely have some, like, filler cards here, and just play both of them. Like, how many 4s do we have? Because these guys are, like, actual 4s. Like Quende, he's not actually great in this deck, but if we are playing the Urza's Ruinous Blast, we should definitely keep it. So to play the Blast, we only have 1, 2, 3 actual legendary creatures, which isn't great. Might be correct to cut that. We do have 2 Eldest Reborn to bring him back or whatever. Drafted a deck while I was blowing mine. Yeah, I mean, discussing all my picks does take a little extra time. Alright, hopefully we can clash a little later, continue. Yeah, white-black's interesting. I mean, like, white-black tends to be a sort of, historic-minded thing. So, like, the signpost uncommon is Arvad, who we got, and it, like, wants you to have more legendary creatures, which we took most of the ones possible on color. We didn't take Yargle, but Yargle would not have improved our deck. It's just, like, he's a vanilla guy. So Urza's Ruinous Blast is... Oh, where did it go? Oh, it went to the sideboard. It's a legendary sorcery, which means that I can only cast it if I control a legendary creature or planeswalker. But its effect is exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. So, like, it's a powerful effect. You know, I have a legendary out to cast it, and then everything that isn't legendary dies. So, like, I will have something. Haggis, to my knowledge, there still isn't any sort of private match option, either for constructed or for drafts. Well, I'm not sure if they would implement one for drafts. I want to cut this rat colony. So, like, pretty good 2s, and then removal, and then maybe the Lance is, like, a weird include. I mean, Lance on Quende is really annoying. It also, like, makes something out of the tokens from Sergeant at Arms. Like, I like this deck in theory. It's definitely a little top-heavy, for being honest here. I don't think I want to play Double Invoke the Divine, although I kind of want to. Like, I want to, but I don't want to. If you catch my meaning. Still have to cut something. Is it second copy of Stronghold Confessor? Maybe it's Soothsayer. I can't decide if I like Soothsayer in this deck. It doesn't seem great. Like, I already potentially am throwing away one of my creatures for Vicious Offering. How many creatures do we have? Let's tell me. It's like a low number, right? Yeah, like 13's pretty low. Let me make this go away. Done? Something? Bueller? Okay. I'm really torn on this Urza's Blast. I think I'm supposed to cut it. This is okay. So this is also a creature. So that's like 14. But like, Eldest Reborn potentially summons one each time we play it. Katarian says the draft he just did, he thinks he got 4 or 5 mythic rares. I hope some of them are good ones. There are some that aren't as exciting. So I probably shouldn't cut, like, Windgrace Acolyte, even though it's sketchy. Maybe I should... Yeah, I should cut the dub for something. Rat Colony? Yeah, definitely could have used more 3s. I was really happy to get that one Sergeant at Arms. If we had another one, I'd be, like, super happy. Maybe Drudge Sentinel? It's not good, but it's potentially an answer to, like, a big ground thing. And is a creature that can attack if we, like, wipe the board or something. I'm actually at the right card count now. This is not where I checked that. It's here. No, we're still at 41. So maybe I just remove the Drudge Sentinel? So we have, like, 3 2-drops. 2 of them are pretty good. Seal away Vicious Offering. I'm supposed to cut the Lance? I think I need the Lance. This is... Did the same thing. We're at 40 now. This deck's a little sketchy. I like it. I'm just gonna play it. See what happens. Game 1. Guys, tell me what record you think this deck's gonna have. Are we ever gonna win? Keep the blast, not sure about the Soothsayer. Yeah, I'm not sure about Soothsayer in this. I'm honestly not sure if I left it in or not. I was making a lot of haphazard cuts there at the end. Uh-oh, our opponent is so elite, you guys. He's so elite that he spelled me with a 3. His hand is great. Keep. Worth noting that Tragic Poet is probably... I don't know, is it worth playing on 1? Like, it ends up needing a turn to, like, tap and activate, so, like, you kind of want to play it before you need it. Potentially it gets in a little bit of extra damage, although I don't think our deck wins that way. I'm not sure I have better 4s than the Soothsayer. Maybe I'm supposed to swap the Soothsayer for the Drudge Sentinel? Maybe that's better? They're both sort of late-game cards. They serve different functions. I think the Drudge Sentinel might be better in the kind of deck that we have. I'm not sure this is correct. Part of me says it's not. I'm going to play the Tragic Poet, see if they do anything about it. Tragic Poet is often not a great card, so it might have our opponent underestimate us. But I think in a deck with, like, multiple Eldest Reborn, it is a card that you definitely play. Interesting that we only ended up with the 1. Considering that it's not usually a super high pick. Yeah, we might switch the Soothsayer for Drudge Sentinels between games. Ooh, our opponent wants to race. Get in there. Did they trade? This would give us some information regardless. I assume they won't because they played it as a 1-drop. Yeah. That makes me think that their deck is aggressive, and so they don't want to trade. Usually if you're trading, it means you want the game to go longer, rather than exchange damage on each other's life totals. Uh-oh. They're also playing black-white, and they're so elite. Oh man, our opponent is aggressive. Sparring Construct, turn 2? Do they have a second Sparring Construct? I don't even know what I'd do in that case. Well, this is not the sort of game I expected when I was like, yeah, maybe Tragic Poet will get in some extra damage early on. Okay, that's actually like a really good draw this turn. Let's play this, throw out the lance, and then just pass, I think. Like, I could try and trade my Unicorn for both their creatures, but I don't want to. Let's see what they do. Might just jam out Quende. Might, ooh, Quende works with Jousting Lance. That's nice. We might get a lot of life this game. It kind of makes me want to just, like, equip the Jousting Lance next turn, gain a bunch of life. And then, like, on the following turn, just, like, throw out Quende, and all of a sudden I'm doing, like, 10,000 damage. Is it better to play the Quende first, though? I don't know, they're kind of representing some kind of removal spell by just, like, not playing anything. Equipping Poet could be neat. Yeah, but equipping Macy Unicorn means that we could gain life. Also, if they do have a removal spell, I think I'd actually rather them kill the Unicorn. Because, like, next turn I'm going to play the Quende. So, like, it can block these guys pretty well. Well, this one. This one, no single creature blocks all that well. But, like, if they kill the Poet, it's actually a little more annoying because that effect can, like, gain some value in the late game. So, I will attack with this. Well, it's attacking. It has First Strike. Or no, it has First Strike on my turn if it's equipped. Fairly specific wording. You got it, friend. I will gain 4 life. Your thing is a 2/2. This actually might work out well. Like, if their plan is just to, like, make this guy bigger and then, like, attack past my thing, and then he doesn't leave up blockers, I'm gonna hit him for a lot. Like, a lot. Alternatively, if they, like, do play a good blocker, it's not really a good blocker. But if they did just play some, like, giant thing there, I could, like, play Eldest Reborn and, like, make them decide if they want to, like, take a ton of damage. Or sacrifice their big thing, which is the only viable blocker. Not sure if they're planning on attacking, though. I accept the damage. Let's get ready to Quende! This one attacks, please. Is there any interesting interaction with First and Double Strike? There's actually a number of potentially interesting interactions there. So, Double Strike is literally deals First Strike damage and regular damage, or not First Strike damage. So, like, a First Strike creature typically only dies if A, the other creature also has First Strike, or B, the other creature has massive toughness so that it survives the First Strike damage. Alright, I think we're in pretty good shape here. We're, like, gaining a bunch of life off of this. We've got Double Strike galore. Eldest Reborn's gonna start eating away at their resources pretty soon, and then when it's done doing that, we'll get it back and do it again. Worst case scenario, we end up with their Cabal Paladin for free. So yeah, like, if you were to, like, give something First Strike or Double Strike at instant speed, you can, like, mess with your opponent who, like, thinks their Jousting Lance-equipped creature is definitely going to kill yours, something like that. First Strike has a number of, see? Here's a potentially weird thing. If they play a pump spell on this flying First Strike guy, it can, like, mess with our thing, even though ours is, like, way better. Very interesting. Will they attack this turn? They shouldn't this turn. Okay. So let's play the Eldest Reborn. So this is going to make them sacrifice a creature and then discard whatever that last card in their hand is. Well, no, they have a turn to play it. It doesn't necessarily get rid of their last card. Yeah, I'm, like, fine trading Unicorn for their 2 cards. Because then I can just, like, move this onto, like, the Tragic Poet or something next turn, and they just, like, have nothing. I will play the Swamp. I might need the mana. I don't feel like I'm in a position where I need to bluff. Also, next turn I have enough mana to kick this thing, and then I have a bunch of soldiers, each of which can become a double-striking yuckity-yuck. So actually, one of the most persistent bugs that I've noticed occurring in Magic Arena is thanks to First Strike, where the game understands that there's a First Strike damage step, but then, like, doesn't correctly indicate that we're moving from First Strike to not First Strike. Oh, that's, like, not a great card for them. It, like, doesn't block or do anything. So unless this is, like, a 1-mana white or colorless spell, they're going to discard it, and then we're going to hit them for a largish number. And then we're going to hit them for, like, another largish number? Oh. Yeah, that's something. We sort of drew Evra. Did I play Evra? Oh, I should play Evra and then equip it with Jousting Lance. That seems good. I will do this. But I must decide which of their cards to discard. I think it might be the middle one. Fair enough. They did in fact manage to have a 1 white mana spell. Does that make them choose the source now? The next free damage will be dealt to you by any target. Didn't notice what it targeted. Don't particularly care. Well, you can try to kill Evra, in which case I'll get it back with Eldest Reborn, or you cannot kill Evra, in which case it will be a giant double-striking lifelinker. Your call. I'm really looking forward to next turn, assuming our opponent doesn't concede. Which I don't think they will, but they possibly should. Oh, yes. What do I want? Cabal Paladin. Oh, wait, do I have anything? Cabal Paladin. Okay, great. Put this on this. Unfortunately, it requires 4 to exchange my life total, right? Well, I guess I will just settle for, like, dealing a ton of damage. Pew pew. Oh, hey look, they added the first strike damage, and then regular damage. Oh, I don't know when they hotfixed that, but even after Kaladesh was added, that was still bugging out. So now they're gonna get like a 4/4 that puts them to 4. I can just kill it by sacrificing like their creature to Vicious Offering. We did it! Woo! 1 down. I think we had lost enough games in our last draft that even winning a game didn't improve our like limited rating. Also, we're playing a white and black deck, so we should probably reroll this cast red or green spells challenge. Blue or red? Yeah, we're nailing it. Okay, back to the draft. Play another one. So I do like this deck. I'm slightly encouraged by the fact that, you know, their deck wasn't the most aggressive deck I've ever seen, but it was attempting to play early cards and we didn't get overrun. Oh. Swap out Soothsayer is a good call that I didn't remember to do. What do we have? Some expensive stuff and mana of only 1 color. Even if I had 3 lands, I'd be more inclined to keep this. But... no. By the time you pointed out that I forgot to swap the Soothsayer, I was already aware of it. Got you so good. Oh, this hand's much better. It's not great, but it's much better. Keep... ooh, Eviscerate. I think I need more lands, but it sucks to send Eviscerate back. Am I going first? I don't know now. Should have paid attention to this. I think it is disciplined to put the Eviscerate on the bottom, but it feels bad, man. I was going first. I like this a lot better. Okay. Okay, drawing lands is good. I have hexproof from the color you have showing. Okay. That's not bad. Don't think you can actually do anything to stop that from hitting you in this format. Okay, great. Okay. Red could easily kill my thing, like, right now. Okay. I think I just equip. Yep. I'm super first strikey. I have 2 instances of first strike. This doesn't mean anything. It's reasonably possible I just like play one of these Stronghold Confessors as a possible chump blocker. Yep, they kill their thing. They did not decide to sacrifice their goblin to deal more damage to us, surprisingly. What do we do? I think we play one of these guys, because now we have the mana to make it a 3/3. Let's see what they do about that. As much as I would like to have an Eviscerate in hand, I think if we were like a land short of where we were, this game would be going a lot worse. Okay. Drawing a land would be good. Nice. So we play Eldest Reborn here, and then they have to sacrifice something good, because both of their creatures are really annoying for us right now. Interesting. I should attack because I don't really have a good reason not to attack. I can't block this very well at all. It has first strike and just kills my thing without them doing anything. Okay. I mean, if I could draw the other Eldest Reborn, that'd be real sick. Otherwise... ooh, Tragic Poet. I can use my Eldest Reborn to take their Tragic Poet. I don't know that that's like a good call. So, I should run a... So I can, like, put my thing to 5, so I hit them to 6, and then they hit me to 4, and then I hit them to 1 and die. Or I can, like... I could play, like, Chump Blocker Confessor and equip my other Confessor. This actually seems fun, because this isn't normal protection, it's hexproof from black. So, black creatures still can block it. That's not... Hold on 1 second. Okay, and we attack. Phew. They can sack Knight of Grace, Cat, because this doesn't say sacrifice target creature. It says each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. So it doesn't even target the player. It just says, like, all players who aren't me have to sacrifice a thing. Hexproof from black only means that I can't target it, that players that don't control it can't target it with black things. Actually, wait. Do I just win now? Wait. They would need their 1 card to pump for 3 damage. It could be the red card. I'm not gonna... Could be the red card. That'd be really dumb and annoying. Like, if it was just the, like, red +3/+3 and trample, I would just, like, just lose. It would be really stupid. Opponent's graveyard. What do I want? I think I want... Even though I don't think I get to use it properly, I think I still take the Tragic Poet. I think it has the highest upside of, like, anything. Then I'm gonna play... I'm gonna attack with Confessor and then play Arvad. Pew! Attack! Then play Arvad. We're winning this game with chump blocks and rock and roll. Welcome to chat, Mom. Sorry that you were having internet troubles. Our opponent has died. Clutch chump block. I'm glad I, like, saw that line because that seemed unintuitive somehow. Pew! Great. We really didn't kill our creatures that game. Cool. Did it used to tell you what your percentage chance of a bonus pack was at every level? It probably didn't, I just didn't notice. That's kind of nice. Last time we got lucky and we got extra pack after doing kind of medium. But we're already at 200 gems in a pack. And what was the pay in here? It was like 250? No, 750. So we gotta get up to like... something like 4 wins is breaking even. Our deck's going alright. I like this deck too. Oh, I didn't... Wait. Cancel! I didn't do the thing. Would have been better in that last game. Dredge Sentinel over. Just, like, Valid Soothsayer is a really good card. But, like, in terms of mana sinks for late game, like, I just don't think I have enough creatures to make the best use out of it. So I think I'm better off spending my mana to, like, make something indestructible. So that I can, like, block, I don't know, some kind of dumb green thing like Crawl Worm or whatever that's called. Whatever the green worm is. Okay, we did the thing. We did it this time. We only forgot once. I would like to think that we could get to 4 wins with this deck. It would be nice if we could win more. Our opponent is Seabuck. I don't know what that actually means, though. Thanks, Kat. I'm glad that you're proud that I only forgot one time to replace that mediocre card with a slightly less mediocre card. His hand is great. It has Jousting Lance and Quende. I couldn't ask for anything more. Keep. We are not on the jamming Stronghold Confessor turn 1 plan in a vacuum. And since we're in quick draft, we play only in a vacuum. I mean, I could see a reality in which on turn 3 we play 1-drop Confessor and Jousting Lance, but that still feels not super likely. Well, our hexproof isn't super relevant this game, but see what happens. Okay. That's combat. Arrgh. This costs 5 to play and to quit. So I could... Yeah, I think I like this plan. I think I just play Mesa Unicorn. If they do nothing, I get to attack for a bunch. Then play Quende. And then, on the following turn, assuming I draw a land between the next 2 turns, I can, like, have Quende out, Jousting Land something, and surprise do a bunch of stuff. You need to assume spherical planeswalkers in a vacuum. Haggis, I don't know if you've noticed, but I like to consider myself a spherical planeswalker, if you know what I mean. Sapherd, you got it. Alright, this still gets boosted even because I have a white thing. These cards are a little weird. Like, that is by design, but it still feels a little weird. Oh, and that's right. If I just by like playing him pre-combat, I have a guy who has first strike, so now he does double strike. Pew. Punch. Take it. Our deck is weird in that it has aggressive draws like this. Like, I like this draw a lot. This is not a typical draw. Alright. I mean, they're gonna have to deal with multiple threats. Hilariously, if I play the lands and equip it onto the Unicorn, all of my creatures will have double strike. Because this does not remove Quende from the field. It simply stops one of my things from attacking. Let's do that annoying thing that will make our opponent really upset. Oh yeah, Jousting Lance is for fun and profit. You will ice skate to have fun, not to save life. Will you tap a thing? I presume that you will. I'm gonna guess it's the Unicorn, because it's by far the most annoying thing for them to try and deal with. Double strike. Wait, am I actually presenting lethal here? Because that's 6 and... no. For some reason I was like doubling the double on Quende, but that's dumb. If they don't do anything, they go to 2. It will be difficult for them to stabilize from there in those colors. Anytime I see black, green, and red in the same deck in Dominaria Limited, I'm making the assumption that they have Daragaz reincarnated. Which costs 6, I think? 3, 4, so they could play it this turn, but then they couldn't icy, and then they'd be not dead. Okay. That's like less threatening than Daragaz. Okay. Play a land. Go to combat. Just to be a little bit more careful with attacks now. Okay. Well, they did it during my main phase. Which means that I can move the lands if I want. Do I want to do that? Because then I could make the knight be a 5-power double striker? Yeah, that's probably worth my time. Because then I can, like, kill both of his biggest creatures before anything deals damage. That's like an awkward, like, misclick sort of thing. We'll play Drudge Sentinel. Just so I have, like, more things I can put the lance on, etc., etc. Yeah, like, I could pretty easily Alpha Strike at any point. I just have more creatures than them. So, like, forcing them to sort of, like, block at least one big thing every turn is good until I can, like, finally do it. I mean, it would have been nice to play the Confessor there, but again, I feel better about just, like, forcing them to block. Because, like, they can't... Like, they have to block something. They can't, like, favorably, like, kill my thing. If I just attacked with everything, they would have gotten at least one block and not died. Like, one good block and, like, killed one of my creatures. The biggest problem is, like, if I attack with everything and Quende dies, it makes my board position a lot less threatening. Not that, like, that means I can't win, but, like, I would like to keep my best, most favorable position for as long as possible. But yeah, playing these Confessors will be good, too, just because they have Menace. So, like, Double Strike and Menace is, like, really hard to block. Okay. Oh, they just, like, regular played it. That's interesting. Okay. So they'll be able to tap one of my creatures, so I have 3. Then I'll make them sacrifice one with Eldest Reborn. So they'll have 2. Everything does at least 2 damage. I think I win? Unless they have, like, exactly Vicious Offering, I think is the only... Yeah, okay. I mean, when our deck draws some of its best possible cards early on, we're gonna win some games. I'm not gonna pretend that this is representative of our whole deck being like a really strong, cohesive unit, but so far the deck's working. Feel good about that Quende pick. He's been doing some work. I hadn't actually considered the interaction between Quende and the Jousting Lance until now. It's fun. I enjoy it. It is for both fun and profit, as mentioned earlier. This opponent is no nuisance, which, I mean, I assumed no nonsense, but perhaps it's no nuisance? Spelled wrong? I mean, either way it would be spelled not quite correct. Oh, this hand is ambitious. So this would be like the slowest hand we've kept by like a lot. It does have Eldest Reborn and Evra and Blood Tallow Candle, but it doesn't do anything until turn 6. So like our earliest board impact, if we don't draw particularly well, is making them sacrifice a creature on 5. As much as I like this hand, I think it's just a little bit too ambitious. Like, if we had like a 2-drop instead of Evra, or even instead of the Candle, I think we'd be in good shape. But I think this is a mulligan. What do we have now? 3 lands, 2 Confessors, and a Lance. I mean, I like it better than the last one. Oh, and Knight of Malice? Yes, please. Knight of Malice, yep. Alright. Swamp. Not jamming a 1-drop, go. No, I'm sorry, Cotillion. You could always quick draft again and try and meet me again. Hopefully I'll still be playing by that point. If we had Forebear's Blade, would that be working replacement? How do you mean, Cat? Like, Forebear's Blade would be good in this deck. Beyond that, I'm not sure what you're referring to. I suppose it... Oh yeah, I guess it could just be nonsense. I was sort of reading into it because the second N was capitalized. So perhaps instead of being no nonsense, they're just straight nonsense. I mean, they did just play a Vidalian Arcanist. Are they on, like, the awkward blue unblockable 1-power creatures plan? I don't hate it. Let's play Jousting Lance, and I should have forced it to tap white, because I was considering actually playing a Stronghold Confessor, but now we're not doing that. No attackers. I always have to check what Forebear's Blade does, because it's like, it does a bunch of things, and for some reason I can't keep them straight. It's like, it's Vigilance and Trample, I think, are the ones it does. It's like 3 power, Vigilance, and Trample. But it's one of those ones that's like, Sword of Vengeance. Sword of Vengeance does like so many things, and I'm like, does it give flying? No, it doesn't give flying. It, like, specifically doesn't give flying because it's a Chroma sword, and it's assumed that a Chroma just has flying. So they have done a total of 3 damage to me over 2 turns. They're probably representing a removal spell, but our draw is awkward, so I'm still just gonna do this. Oh, thank you for the host, Demolition. How are you doing today? They're probably gonna kill my guy and then we lose, right? They'll wait until combat and kill him. I don't think my guy is living through this attack. Oh, they're gonna bounce it? I think they're gonna bounce it. So they can't, like, blink of an eye with kicker. They can only, like, regular blink of an eye. Which isn't terrible for us. There it is, regular blink of an eye. Yeah, I mean, it's not great for us, but, like, yeah. Yeah, this game's not looking great. I definitely should have... I think I actually would have played the Confessor if I had made the auto-tap use both of my planes for the Jousting Lance. Now I kind of need to draw... I mean, if I draw 2 lanes in a row, we're actually in good shape, I think. See what happens. It's a little awkward not having swamps because so much of our hand is black, but... no, it's still good. Doesn't actually block anything, so that's not good. But, like, we could, hypothetically, if we draw land, play Arvad, and then Urza's Ruinous Blast, and justify it being in our deck, despite being super awkward. I mean, our opponent's, like, very aggressively playing 1-power creatures, and we can't block them, but they don't present, like, a huge amount of pressure. So, like, we have a little more time than we would if they somehow just had, like, I don't know, like Menace 2/2s or all like flying 2/2s. Oh. I see. They also had a legendary sorcery. Theirs bounces our only creature and then lets them take another turn. Yeah, I think we're gonna die to that. I'm not even mad though. That's kind of amazing. That our opponent is on like legendary 2-drop, unblockable 1-power creatures, legendary sorcery strategy. I mean... it's pretty good, I guess. It's just it's funny how like specifically bad for our draw that is. Well, so let's see. Do I think that they can randomly deal another 4 damage this turn? No? So Arvad and then Urza's Ruinous Blast? In which case, if we manage to stabilize, they actually just prevent us from exiling our own thing permanently by bouncing it? Maybe it all comes up Millhouse? It seems unlikely that this will occur. If they just have, like, more bounce spells, that would be annoying. If they just, like, mono bounce spells in this format that doesn't have that many of them. I think if they have bounce... yeah, okay, we just, like, lose the game now. There's, like, literally no way to survive. We needed them to have 1 less bounce spell. I'm gonna play it out, but I'm pretty sure we're dead already. It's like their draw is like really, like their draw has to be like this exactly. Like almost any other draw does not win them the game. Like sometimes that happens, but like, ugh. So if we can play Windgray's Acolyte, chump block the turtle, take 4, go to 3. We'll never have enough mana to play Arvad and Urza's Ruinous Blast in the same turn, though. So what we do instead is we play a Confessor as a chump blocker, play Arvad, hope they don't have, like, the 19th bounce spell. I mean, this won't work. No, wait. No, that, like, actually doesn't work. I have to play Acolyte first because I'll actually just be on lethal with things I can't block. Because, like, Arvad can't actually block any of these because he doesn't fly, so, like, I can't lifelink off of his damage. And since he doesn't have, like, First Strike, I can't, like, kill the turtle while dealing the damage to it. I could trade, but then I still can't win with Ruinous Blast. Does it just have a bounce spell again? Is it the wizard? No, you wouldn't need... it's a wizard, right? Yeah, you wouldn't need all that for the wizard. They have another, like, Cardin's Temporal garbage dump? okay. It's, like, really dumb how close we are to, like, stabilizing this game. It's, like, exceptionally stupid. Okay, that thing flies. Our opponent is just a jerk. Like, our opponent's draw had to be, like, exactly that sequence of cards. Like, that deck looked pretty cool, but, like, I think 9 times out of 10 we could probably beat that deck. Because, like, their early game doesn't do that much damage, and so if they just don't, like... If they don't just, like, physically remove our things from the board, like, we just can stabilize that game. But, like, they just had, like, 3 bounce spells and then in Bolus's clutches. Like, a very specific sequence of things to counter our players. No, like, that deck is really sweet. I mean, like, the thing is just, like, I think our deck probably beats that one on average, is my only point. Like, it's a little frustrating because it's like, that game was, like, close, despite them having, like, an exceptionally stupidly strong hand where they got an extra turn after bouncing our creature. This hand is ambitious. So we have mana in both colors, and we have two mana removal spells. But we need to draw, like, 2 more lands to be able to do anything. But the cards in his hand are really good and can potentially stabilize us from behind. So I think based on card quality, this is a close keep. But this might be a mulligan. I'm going to keep it, but this might be wrong. What's this demolition? Oh, somebody at work got fired and quit. Someone you liked. They constantly poked the bear. Yeah, that's a problem. Even if it's for good reason. You don't want to be there. Got up last month, found a new job in the city for more money, announced they were leaving next week, just told to leave. Wow, that's an approach. Do another land. If we draw, like, 4th land, we're likely to do stuff. Yeah, Karn's Temporal Sundering is a sweet card. I mean, all the legendary sorceries have sweet, like, flavor, but, like, they're mostly bad. They're, like, mostly just bad. You may recall how much I was struggling just to make the decision to put in the one in our deck that's hypothetically pretty good. I'm going to kill this just because it's early pressure, our hand is slow, and also there's potentially a lot of upside if they have even just, like, one thing that makes multiple saprolings. So I'm going to do nothing this turn. The next turn probably play cavalry and stuff. Yeah, low morale and like, questionable management decisions are definitely a recipe for having people want to leave your company. I've dealt with some amount of this myself, admittedly. Karn's Temporal Sundering, though, can actually do good things. I would argue that Urza's Ruinous Blast can also do good things. It just requires them not to use Karn's Temporal Sundering to bounce our creatures constantly. That was interesting. What if we just Eldest Reborn them? No, let's play Sarah Angel. If they, like, counter it or something, we get rid of their counterspell and then still have Eldest Reborn. Alright, this worked. Presumably this worked. Our opponent's in an interesting combination of colors. I'm going to assume that they're, like, splashing for Tatiova. Seems like the main reason why you would dip into blue in those colors. So... I'll just play Eldest Reborn now? I think I just attack. I think I attack, play Mesa Unicorn because I can, and then play Seal Away if I have to. If they don't play another creature, and then I can, like, Seal Away their one thing and Eldest Reborn the other, we get to hit for a bunch. Yeah, okay. That's, like, annoying. Certainly. But... Yeah, they're still not attacking, so that's fine. Hilariously, I can kindle my own thing so that I can get it back with Eldest Reborn someday. Is the correct play play the candle, hold seal away? No, I think it's probably just actually play Eldest Reborn. Need a unicorn-themed deck ASAP. There's surprisingly few unicorns in the game of Magic, Demolition. But Mesa Unicorn might actually be the best of them, which is kind of insulting in a way. Like, most of them are, like, 2/2s with bad or no abilities. This one has Lifelink. Lifelink's a good ability on a 2-mana 2/2. I think it's only the second time they've printed that in white. Discard a card, please. What about ponies or Pegasus? There's a couple of, like, cards that make a good number of, like, Pegasus tokens. One of them is called Sacred Mesa, and is actually a card I like a great deal. It's like personal reasons for that. Yeah, so what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna candle my own Sarah Angel to get it back, is the plan. So, like, the trigger's gonna happen. Does that actually work? Because I have to, like, target a thing. But it happens after I draw, so I can do it during my upkeep. Okay, I've answered my question by saying rules knowledge. Yeah, horses are actually shaping up to have a good standard deck. They just printed a whole cycle of good horses. See, look, they have a thing that makes a bunch of Saprolings. It'd be really annoying if they had that 2-drop I just killed instantly. Wonder if my opponent is anticipating my suicidal move. Why does it make a fireworks noise? I guess it has a candle on its head that could be fireworks. See? Are they going to play a bunch of stuff? Something rainbow themed? Yeah, it sort of depends on your definition. There's a number of ways to build 5-colored decks in various formats. My turn. Wait. Oh no. Oh, why? I should have said a stop. That's my bad. Ugh, that's so bad. Oh, that's really bad. I think I'm just gonna eviscerate the 4/4 and then, like, attack them for, like, a ton. This seems good. And then I can seal away if they try to, like, hit me with something back. I don't know why I assumed that, like, without setting a stop, I'd be able to do an upkeep thing. Like, this game really doesn't want you to have an upkeep step. I mean, they... Yeah? I don't think I care about that. Like, I have a bunch of 2/2s. You have to trade 2 for 1 on each of my things, and if you do, then, like, your card gets worse. So this, like, doesn't... Okay, great. Sure. Oh no, they still have mana, so it could be like anything. Ooh, is it gonna attack this turn? Generate a bunch of mana for no reason? It has haste. That's pretty good. So... I... Candle... So, they're gonna get to attack for free next turn, because all their things will be indestructible from the Song of Freyalise. So, if I don't kill this, they potentially have just like a huge amount of mana. Now, the likelihood that they have something that takes advantage of that much mana is relatively low, but it's still like more threatening than just a 4/4. So I think I just kill this now. Yeah, this game was a lot better if I just, like, remember to put an upkeep stop there. It was really bad, and that's just my mistake. I mean, like, the Eldest Reborn brought back by Tragic Poet is bad for constructed, but as you can see by the fact I've put a Tragic Poet in my deck, I think it's playable in this format, limited. Yeah, I did Demolition. I think I responded in Discord, but I very much liked the Squirtle video that you posted in Discord. I think I just block that much and take, what is that, like 13 or something? Yeah, take a bunch. Yeah, take like a lot. It was 15. Yeah, this seems like an interface problem where, like, this is not how damage or indestructible works. That, like, this is not a -1 toughness creature, or it would actually be dead. Alright, so now that, like, all their stuff isn't indestructible, we're kind of back at a stalemate. We're just both at 7. Of course, my Tragic Poet can get back that, like, annoying thing, which, like, something someday does something. It's a Fender, so I can't attack with it to seal it away for no value. So the things you think about when you've had a seal away in your hand for a long time and no creatures become tapped in like 7 turns. It's like now all of our like 2/2s trade for their 2/2s and seal away kills one of these big things. Go for it. But yeah, Demolition posted in Discord a Squirtle Squad video posted by the like official Pokemon Company YouTube channel or something, and it's just like a super cut of like the Squirtle Squad doing stuff, and it's great. Okay, so we want to block 2/2, a 2/2, a 2/2, a 2/2. How small does this get? This 2 becomes. So actually, that's wrong. I want to block one of these back. Put this and this here. Block a 2/2. I don't know. This cannot tap yet. So I take 6. I mean, I don't like taking 6, but I think this is correct. Yeah, the fact that I'm not dead is promising. Also gained 2 life from that Pegasus that traded with the 2/2. It's possible our opponent got too aggressive there. I think I'm just supposed to fire off Tragic Poet. Yeah, submit. Because then, like, instead of just, like, chunk blocking a thing, like, I actually... What's happening? It's just... They're not passing priority. Got it. Our opponent's deck is a lot of, like, weird, specific nonsense. Like, I'm impressed how they've brought it all together. I mean, like, they have, like, 2 copies of Uncommon Spore Swarm, which is a card I rarely actually see. Not because it's bad, but because I just don't see it, like, put in people's decks extremely often. Okay. I don't have a wizard, so that doesn't just deal damage to me. Right, they played out their land so they don't just discard it. Seems good. This game would be like a ton easier if we just had like a flyer. Hey look, I kickered them! Taste it! I forgot that there was a possibility that this would be relevant. Definitely don't attack. Definitely don't attack. What am I getting back this time? Is it Cyclops? I don't think I need the mana from Rata. Do I have a better thing? Oh, I could get Tragic Poet back, frankly. Which is probably the best thing I can do. Yeah, I think it's that until something can win me the game where I die, is the plan. We just keep bringing Nicol Bolas back from the dead, forever and ever, until the end of time. My graveyard, this one. Okay, so this turn I can't play it back out yet because Tragic Poet can't tap, so I play Indestructible Blocker. Interestingly, if we had Soothsayer in instead at this moment, we could sacrifice Sarah Angel to draw a card and then bring it back with Eldest Reborn, probably win the game. However, I think Drudge Sentinel is like pretty equally good here, so it's not a complaint, just something worth noticing. This game will last forever! We've got the soft lock though with the Tragic Poet. Oh, or we could just play our other one. No, let's hide the fact that we have a second one for now, since we're able to do this whole thing. Yeah, this submit the one target. Demolition, I'm presuming that that's your interpretation of me saying a bunch of magic words in rapid succession. This is a not wholly unfamiliar experience, as in college there were a lot of people who would casually see Tech and our friends like playing Magic in our dorm room and just like being like, you realize that you've said like a whole paragraph without using any English, right? Okay, they have Memorial to Unity. That could be bad. However, I have 2 Eldest Reborns and a Tragic Poet. I do have a legendary creature. So I could play the Ruinous Blast. Hilariously, it's their legendary creature. But I think I'm still better off doing this for now. Like, playing Urza's Ruinous Blast aggressively feels like a way I can either close out the game or just, like, lock myself out of it because they get a good top deck. And I'm not willing to take that risk when we're, like, so far ahead with all these Eldest Reborns. So no attacks this turn, but we're pretty close to attacking. Sentinels of the Multiverse is an interesting game, but lingo can get in the way. What is Sentinels of the Multiverse? Not surprised that we were using the Memorial to Unity. What will they reveal? Resolve. Oh yeah, also if I play the Urza's Ruinous Blast, then they get their Keldon Raider back, because this is a non-legendary permanent. Did they whiff? Did they get nothing? Oh, that sucks. That sucks for them. That's really bad. Hey look, a Knight of Malice. Does this matter? This doesn't matter, but this is technically the correct way to stack it. I will get back... Well, if I take their other legendary, then this Urza's Ruinous Blast will eventually look hypothetically better. Also, it has haste, which is not irrelevant. So if we attack with 3, 3, 3, 3, and 4, 4, then we're in good shape. Does that just mean we're supposed to attack with everything? No, let's not attack with everything. That seems like a dumb idea. I could probably attack with the 2, 2, but I'm just going to attack with the 3 I mentioned. This. So I will get, like, red mana? This doesn't matter. Is it going to ask me to, like, decide what mana I want? Because the answer is, it doesn't matter. Whoa, what's happening with these numbers? Sure, I'll take a green mana too. What will you do? I present you options. I mean, I'm playing a little conservatively here. This is one of the areas of my play that I do feel like I need to work on, generally speaking. Like, if I had done the math a little more, I think it's probably best to attack with everything. They don't have any cards in hand, and I think they're just, like, forced to die? Yeah, I should have just attacked with everything. Like, worst case scenario, I have, like, Ruinous Blast, which is pretty bad, admittedly. This one has a maybe relevant ability. So, damage. This happens. Play another card. Pass the turn. During my next upkeep, I'll get Tragic Poet back. It'll be nice. Adventurous Impulse. Will they find a thing this time? I wonder if is there like a creature that can, like, win? It would only need to deal me 3 when it comes into play, but I don't think such a card exists. Even if they had another one of these, which I should have considered. Because I was sort of thinking, like, okay, I mean, that's a good card. That is a good card. However, you are at 2, and it doesn't matter what you put on top of your deck because you're dead. You should already be dead. That is my mistake, but you are still dead. Sentinels of the Multiverse is world's greatest cooperative comic book-based fixed deck card game. Wow, that's a lot of words. I can see how the jargon might get in the way of a game with so many words. We eventually did it! I apologize for being bad at Magic. What time is it? 6:12. Let's clam our prizes. Hey, we made it to 4 wins. That's nice. Let's see if we can get another. Yeah. Like, this deck does interesting things. My concern is, like, if we come up against a properly aggressive deck, and, like, the one we lost to isn't even exactly that. The one we lost was, like, a real corner case. Like, it is a deck with very specific synergies. So, like, I guess hypothetically we can lose to a deck with very specific synergies. It seems less likely to come up, but Dominaria does have sweet decks like that. As evidenced by the one that played Karn's temporal nonsense and then killed us. This hand's bad. It has a bunch of good cards, but it's a bad hand. So we're going first. Each hero, villain, and environment has their own deck. I see. This hand could be good. I don't think this is a mulligan, but it's not automatically great. Swamp on top's good. Let's see what happens. So, like, who plays the environment deck if every hero and villain has their own deck? Does someone just get to, like, play the mall? Let's go to the mall. So our opponent on turn 1 found a colorless 5/5 trample. I don't know what deck I expect to be playing that. It's our second Vodalian Arcanist of the day. So that's something. Well, I can't kill their thing, but gaining 2 life seems good. Do I think they're aggressive? They have colorless 6-drop. I don't really know what I expect that to mean. I think I'm supposed to play the Sergeant at Arms, but it feels kind of bad. Yeah, I think this is better. Like, being able to kick it at some point is good, but the tokens don't do a ton unless I have the Lance, which I don't currently. I think I'm better off just trying to, like, stall until these, like, crazy things come out. Well, there's our third Vodalian Arcanist of the draft. Awkwardly now I can't just attack to gain life because the two of them can work together to block the Mesa Unicorn. However, if I play the Knight of Malice, since I control white permanents, it is a 3-power first striker, and deals with that problem to some extent. But when they play the third Vodalian Arcanist, then we have a problem. So I'm gonna assume the green-blue deck probably doesn't have a lot of instants or sorceries it's trying to ramp to. It might, but it seems unlikely. I think I'm willing to... They're sort of representing that they have a pump spell or something, but I think I'd rather them, like, play it than just, like, maintain a board stall. Because if they don't have it, then attacking is just good. So, like, I'm fine with them having it here. When we play Drudge Sentinel, and, like, really hope that we draw a 4th and 5th land at some point. Interestingly, we've never had problems with, like, having the wrong color. We had one game where we had slightly fewer things we could do in a turn because we only had one swamp for a while, but, like, I'm just thinking about the fact that we... Wow, really? This isn't the same opponent we just played, though, is it? I think it's a different name. I don't remember what the last one is, but I don't think it was Romina. Well, if we can ever play Sarah Angel, it's bigger than Cloud Reader Sphinx. This isn't. Yeah, our draw's not developing excellently. I mean, it doesn't seem like theirs is, like, insane either, but... Being on 5 lands is a lot better than being on 3 lands. This feels like a game we're going to lose. I think I'm okay with this, though. I mean, I would certainly like to win, but I'm just at a point where I feel like I see how the hand is developing, and okay, they've played the one card we know about, we now must find a way to deal. Awkwardly, the Drudge Sentinel doesn't do much against a big trampling creature because it only has 1 toughness, even if it's indestructible. Okay. It's kind of a passive no attack. Well, I can play the Confessor. I don't know that it's good, but it makes use of my mana, and will probably do something someday. Again, like, trying to indestructible block this guy doesn't help, so, like, saving the mana doesn't seem good. Interesting deck. So it looks like they're splashing red, and yet they're playing, like, a red 1-drop? Like a conditional red 1-drop? I think we eviscerate... That's actually kind of tough. So, like, if we think we're never going to draw another land for some reason, which probably isn't the case, then, like, eviscerating the flyer seems good. But in all other universes where eventually we draw another land and play Sarah Angel, I would rather eviscerate the 5/5 because I don't have a good answer to it right now. So I think I'm going to eviscerate the 5/5, knowing that it's something of a calculated risk. Like, I have, like, really good chump blocking capability, and the only things threatening me are, like, a trample creature and a flyer, so it's awkward. Alright, that's annoying, but I couldn't kill that with Eviscerate anyway, so it's not like I should have saved it or something. Yeah, alright. Play a 2/2. Really would like to draw a land at some point. Not trying to be picky or anything, but at some point would be nice. Okay. I mean, someday this is great. Okay. I accept this. It's not ideal. We're still not far enough behind that that's, like, going to be the death of us. It really just comes down to, like, bizarre and interesting deck. Land? Nice. Okay, so the question is, do we play Sarah Angel now or play Windgrace Acolyte? And I think we play Windgrace Acolyte, actually. like, they've sort of demonstrated that they've been waiting to play a counter. It's possible they have Wizard's Retort, and they're just, like, waiting for us to play something that interacts with their only threat. So let's see if they, like, have anything to say about this. Great. Well, we discarded Evra and Isolated Chapel. And also Eldest Reborn. That wasn't great. Past this turn. So now I think it's reasonably safe to say they don't have a counter. Is that a baby sound? No, I think it was a cat. This thing is a cat warrior flying on a pterodactyl. Don't think too hard about it. Well, I'm having Tatiova is reasonably annoying. Well, Sunday this Tragic Poet will get back that Eldest Reborn, and then the Eldest Reborn can get back the Evra. Yes, that combination of words is interesting, Demolition, I agree. They don't have a counterspell up, so now I'll just play this. And then attack with the flyer? Attack with anything else? No, that seems insane. Yeah. Yeah, just the flyer. It'd be nice if Arvad interacted with Sarah Angel, because it's an angel, it must be legendary, right? What's the concept of an ordinary angel? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Tatiova's gonna get really annoying if we don't start drawing pretty live. I mean, at this point we don't need any more lands, so like hopefully we just don't draw them. Although when we milled exactly one land and a bunch of stuff we would have wanted to draw. I accept your challenge. I'm assuming like a pump spell or something. Oh, that's horrific. Yeah. So now we're sort of in the... Okay, that's actually really good. So... Okay. We're not actually out of this yet, but we're close to it. So they're probably going to attack for like a lot this turn. But then, assuming that we can somehow survive with Arvad on the board, then we can Urza's Ruinous Blast? We're not technically dead, but we're fairly close to dead. That's fine. Okay, they get to squat. They have 16 cards in their deck? Yay with a question mark is a good response to we're not technically dead. Okay. So we're definitely taking 6. Well, that's interesting. Why would you not attack with everything? I wonder. Well, I'm not going to just die. I opt not to just die. So, well, this game's about to get real interesting. Oh my god, really? The only other card in my hand costs 1 white mana, and you want to hold up a black mana? Auto tap? Why are you like this? Okay. So now it's just Arvad versus Tatiova and Tragic Poet. Give it a nice. This thing doesn't have vigilance, right? Yeah. Yeah, even if we lose this game, like, that was pretty fun, right? Like, we gotta, like, make the game make a ton of, like, sounds. Okay. She's a druid. Oh, that's really annoying. That's, like, actually shockingly annoying. Well, some dudes go... I need to draw, like, the other Eldest Reborn, and it's not even, like, great. It really sucks that he drew... He, like, top-decked after... Oh, that's really lame. I mean, that was a pretty good game. We got, like, pretty bad draws there. But, like, that was a pretty good game. We got, like, really close to stabilizing after... Well, you saw all that. It was real dumb. It was a real dumb game that happened. But at least we got to play that stupid legendary sorcery. That's the first time I've ever cast a legendary sorcery. I genuinely think they're all pretty bad. I mean, like, most of them are powerful. The green one's just, like, awful. Like, the green one is so bad. Like, even when you can cast it, it's not even necessarily good. Whereas, like, all the other ones are like, it's great if you can cast it, but... What's the highest number combo a card can get? How do you mean demolition? Okay, we're going second, which makes me want to keep this. It'd be really close if we were going first. We have both colors and Knight of Malice. We have, like, Eviscerate and Eldest Reborn as, like, strong things to play if we can survive to drawing the lands. This gives us, like, multiple chances at drawing a land before we need them, so I'm going to keep this. Oh, I see. Power toughness. I think the largest naturally printed creature is Emrakul Aeon's Torn, right? Yeah, because Promised Land is the dumb one. No, this is better, because it just has first strike. So, like, Emrakul, I think it's 15 mana for a 15/15, like, flying protection from instants and sorceries and a bunch of other dumb crap. It's, like, the worst Magic card ever printed. It's, like, so dumb and annoying. That's good. I think we attack, right? I can trade both of their things for our thing. Technically, though, like, you can... there's, like, certain particularly green creatures that you can, like, spend, like, X mana to make them XXs. So hypothetically, they can be, like, infinitely large or whatever. How do games last that long? Well, most of the time, if an Emrakul Aeon's Torn hits the board, it's because you've used some other effect that, like, cheats it into play somehow. There's a somewhat popular... Just gonna trade horses. See what they do. There's a somewhat popular enchantment for, like, really old formats called Sneak Attack, which just says, like, pay 1 red mana, like, put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield that has haste, sacrifice it at end of turn. So, like, you could play it like a preposterously large creature for 1 mana, hit once with it, and then, you know, sacrifice it. But Emrakul does a ton of things. I think we're on offense, oddly enough. Did they mulligan? They seem low on cards. I mean, I know they've played some small things, but still. I think I just played the Stronghold Confessor and blocked something. First strike it. I can't tell you how happy I am that they fixed that bug. It was genuinely super confusing. Even though, like, I am, like, well aware of how first strike damage is, there's, like, a certain point in the turn where, like, during combat, it's like, kind of not clear exactly where you are. So when it's like, damage! And then you're like, okay. And then it's like, end turn! And you're like, wait. No, don't end turn. We're, like, in the middle of the turn. I haven't had a second main phase yet. Don't end turn. What will they play? Their deck is aggressive. What do I want to play? So I could play Arvad and just, like... Yeah, actually, Arvad just seems really good. It's like I can sort of just attack with both of these things. And be in good shape. So let's attack with both things. Like, they're an aggressive deck with small creatures, but, like, we're just out racing them right now. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't remember if its mana cost was actually 15, but I thought it was. There you go. Cat has it in chat there. We're still doing well. We've now lost 2. Both of our losses have been against pretty sweet decks, though, in fairness. Like, we had a really epic game where we actually managed to cast Urza's Ruinous Blast and almost stabilized, but then they put the Flying Cat enchantment on their legendary creature, which survived the Ruinous Blast. It was a good game. It's not waiting for me to respond, right? Okay. Oh, I see. That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't consider this, which I should have. So now their thing does during first strike, which means that before their creatures do damage, they can put the counter on a different one of them. That's fine, because I realized this before damage happens. So they can either put it on the creature that's better to get bigger, or that. I mean, I guess it doesn't make a huge difference. It does mean that I want to kill their flyer. Doesn't make extremely efficient use of my mana, but like now their board is just awful. So your turn. I mean, we're currently 4-2. I would like to win at least one more. Then I'd feel like I'm slightly ahead between the pack I get and everything else going on. I think getting a 3-pack of Google Wi-Fi to replace aging Apple Airport Extreme. I'm not extremely familiar with either of those things. Pick it up now or wait for October for possible hardware. See, that's the trick with technology demolition. Is you never know when they're going to roll out their next thing. At least Apple's like kind of transparent about that in the sense that they do it regularly enough that you know what's up. To be clear, Cat, Annihilator does not specify creatures. So when Emrakul attacks, they have to sacrifice 6 permanents, which includes lands. So if they only have like 1 creature and like 5 lands, they sacrifice everything. Alright. Sacrifice a creature, opponent. Do the thing. I mean, I guess what I would say to you, Demolition, is like, how important is it to you to upgrade your Wi-Fi? If it's like urgent enough that you're already thinking about it, then I think there's some consideration for, you know, just doing it now. I'm gonna play Sarah Angel because it really sucks to be our opponent right now. Boom! 3 damage. Also, it's important to play some white permanent, not that that would be difficult to do considering our current hand, just because then our guy gets bigger. Our opponent is flooded. Guess I want their flyer? Seems mildly better than my own lifelinker. I could take their lifelinker. Taste it. Play land. Play this, which doesn't do anything. Attack with my things. Their blocks are bad. We're probably going to win this game, which is nice. Minis. What are Mac Minis? I should know this. I know that I should know this, but I don't. Signal is super weak in the bedroom, but downstairs is still a similar situation in my apartment, although it is obviously smaller than having an upstairs and downstairs. I go now, and I get 1.5 year of it. Risk buying outdated hardware. I don't know. Sweet. Okay, we won that game. Like Big Macs, but less edible. Ah, I see. Oh. Wait, it didn't show me what card I got for winning daily games. I suppose that doesn't matter. Alright, so now we're up to 650 gems in a pack, which means we're like, we've almost recouped our gems paying into the event, and we get a pack. Like, definitely a pack. Maybe 2. So, even if we lose this next one, pretty happy. No, you got me, Demolition. I don't know if that's actually, like, I don't know if there's actually some distinction there, because like I genuinely don't know what Minimac is. But if you just set me up for a what's up dog, you earned it, man. Follow other brother from the same mother to gamer then. I mean, I would trust his judgment. We've like, I think I would say we're like, yeah, I guess we're pretty close to breaking even. I don't know. There's sort of like multiple ways to think about it. It's like the gems are probably more valuable. So like being down 100 gems for the pack is like probably like a little bit less than even. But we also got to draft and we got our cards. You know, not that we got anything like super exciting from the draft, but you know, fun to flush out the collection. Tragic Poet's like kind of awkward if we don't already have the Eldest Reborn, but it's fine. Jousting Lance is like an okay early play. Vicious Offering deals with the thing. I don't love this hand, but it's probably good enough to keep. Again, we're drawing, so that's like pushes me towards wanting to keep it because it gives me more chances to draw the lands I want. I'm gonna keep it. Claim that in the best of one matches, your starting hand is selected. I'm not sure if that information is actually current anymore, Kat. I've heard that they removed that feature where it like sampled 2 hands and tried to show you one for your mulligan that's like closest to your deck's land distribution. Like, that was definitely true for a while, but I think one of the recent patches, maybe Dominaria, maybe Kaladesh, changed that. I feel like genuinely like the hands just like feel different since that happened, but like that could just be like confirmation bias or whatever. But I've also heard people say that that's no longer true. I don't know where that information comes from, one way or the other. Anti-Kithra mechanism. Anyone know what that opponent's name is a reference to? So we can equip the thing and attack for 3, and they can't block it, but then we take 3. Or we could just play Sergeant at Arms and like block their stuff so they can't attack us. I think I like the defensive plan better. Demolition. Well, you were right that the Gamer family has some really remarkable people in it. I'm also one of us, so you have to keep that in mind. It's not all positive. What did you look up, Cotillion? Reference to a device found in ancient Greece. It's supposed to predict various events. Oh, interesting. I see. So I kind of want to kill this Soothsayer, but I think that's aggressive. I think I'm just supposed to, like, play 2 knights. Who knows more about magic and Squirtles than you? I mean, if you're willing to accept a very specific cross-section of knowledge like that, you know, I'm pretty top of the game. For some reason, I'm really concerned that my opponent has some scary thing. There's no particular reason to think that, but I really believe it. We're also sort of in an awkward spot where, like, we kind of want land and we kind of don't want land. Hopefully the game goes on long enough that we can draw enough land that we no longer need the land and can just deal with what. It's true, this is Senor Card Gauge, one of my favorite Homestar Runner characters. Wait, what just happened? They fought a token. Okay. That was an interesting use of their turn. If I had mana up, I could have Vicious Offering that to death. So the question becomes... I think maybe I'm supposed to play Honor Guard and then sacrifice it to Vicious Offering. Maybe I'm just supposed to equip the Lance onto our dude. Then he has 4 power. And at worst trades with the Soothsayer, which is like fine. No, I think I'm gonna be a little more conservative. If they don't do anything, I'll just sacrifice this Honor Guard to kill their 2/3. Maybe I'm supposed to do it now to stop them from, like, drawing a card, but I think I'm just going to play defensively in case they do have some big thing. Big thing? Yeah. Alright. If they're doing that, then I'm doing this. Sacrifice this, kill this. Wait, No, hold on. Let's target first. Okay. This, target a creature. This, sacrifice this wolf. I should know better than this, but I was thinking order printed. Which order printed matters for modal effects. Like if something says like choose one or both of these, then you do them in the order top to bottom. But you pay costs like last for a spell, and I think additional costs are still considered costs for that rules analysis. Okay, so I want to be the master of Pokemon. You have the skills to beat Arvad the Cursed. So, we do nothing this turn. Probably except... Well, no, I don't think they're going to attack. That'd be a little weird. But if we can get Arvad First Strike and Death Touch is a really good combination. Because any amount of damage done by a creature with Death Touch kills the defender. So if I deal lethal damage first, then your creature can't block mine unless it's, like, indestructible or something. Okay, so they're going to pay some life and draw some cards. Yeah, I mean, we're in okay shape. We're not, like, amazing shape, but we're in okay shape. It's like, oh, are they trying to hit a land drop and missed? It seemed weird somehow. I really look forward to this. I hope I get to do this one time. One time? Now I gained a bunch of life. Can't go wrong gaining a bunch of life. I'm trying really hard to stabilize. See, the thing is, we're at a board stall. I don't know that I would say that they're trying to stabilize. They're, like, trying to get ahead of us, but, like, it seems like they've just drawn nothing. I don't know if they're, like, just on air, if they have, like, only lands or something, but, like... there's something, like, really unnerving to me about this. Okay. I have, like, a big thing to play. It's fine. I can, like, race that pretty well with a Arvad. Alright. Also, Evra now just gets +2/+2, casually. Oh, I got to do it, because my opponent doesn't realize how the interaction works. Huzzah! Now my opponent is real salty. Because there's no way they intended to chump block with their biggest thing. If they were just trying to save life, they would have blocked with the 2/2 for sure. That really sucks for them. I actually kind of feel bad that that worked. It doesn't come up very often, but when it does, it's savage. What did they melt? A swamp, an omnivore, a spider, and that's it. That's all the TV there is. They have a lot more mana than they probably need. It depends. A green deck in this format can sometimes... gosh, what do I want to do now? I know what I want to do. I'm going to attack with Arvad, and then I'm going to move the Lance onto Evra, and then do some shenanigans next turn. Okay. They would have to literally block with everything, and then I could just kill everything. So this is still fine. Okay. Regular damage. Move this onto here. But what I was saying is, a green deck, there are certain, like, kicker spells in green that might actually... So, like, if they wanted to kick a Grun the Lonely King, or, like, a... God, a Josu Vest would still be really hard for us to deal with. Okay, we should probably do this. Throw from the ashes. Well, they're getting more land. I don't think that's what they wanted. Huh? Uh-huh. Activate this ability. My life total is 8. Alright, coming at you with a 39 power Life-linking First Striker. Here you go. Enjoy. You got it. I'm going to gain a hideous amount of life. If only I had Quende, is all I can say. If only I had Quende. This is going to start getting ridiculous real fast, though. Like, even though I'm not exactly gaining ground, like, it will actually become extremely difficult for them to just be able to kill me eventually. I'll just hold all this up. I mean, no, if I play the 4-drop, then I can't also use Evra's ability at end of turn. And this is an instant, so it's worthwhile to hold up both of those abilities. Yeah, I don't know if you're just tuned back in, Cotillion. We're at 47 with a 39-6 First Striker. How are you doing today? It also has lifelink, just so you know. This will continue to get more and more stupid until something happens. These games, these are the ones that make Magic a game worth playing over and over again. Yeah, man. Oh. You can always swap your life total again to keep raising... Oh, yeah, no. That's the plan, Cat. We're going to keep doing it. In fact... We'll do it now. Yes. Just so that it gets slightly more power, because we're going to lose some life here. This is Magic as Richard Garfield intended it, as the internet likes to meme. Alright, well, combat! I assume we're gonna get chump locked, but I'm gonna keep doing this. Because this is fun. Fungal infection, huh? Yeah, I don't care about that. I mean, I would like to have Tragic Poet out, but that's fine. That doesn't do a ton. Set a stop on their turn so that we can continue to flop our life around and become just, like, horrendously unstoppable. This is, yeah, I think utterly ridiculous is a reasonable assessment of this situation. I give my opponent a lot of credit for not just scooping to this. I mean, like, again, they're not close to just dead. They can chump block until the cows rediscover their domicile, frankly. But, you know, in the meantime, I get to go up to, like, 87, etc. And that's fantastic. I think we're all having a good time. Let's just go ahead and set its attack equal to 87, I think would be. That's right. So there's also a weird interaction at play here with, like, Arvad and the Lance, like, increasing the power before we, like, switch it. It's weird. Also, now it just drew Seal away, so, like, there's almost, like, nothing our opponent can do at this point. Like, this is just ridiculous. It's the highest HP I ever saw. I mean, like, there are combos in various formats that can gain infinite life. I think, like, the highest, like, natural life total I've ever seen in a game was, like, I want to say, like, 160, like, without also just, like, winning the game that turn. Because, like, I've seen some, like, spells that make things giant and give them lifelink, but then they also, like, kill everyone on that turn, so, like, the life doesn't matter. But I've seen someone get up to something like 160 and then still lose that game, which is pretty awesome in its own way. My turn? No. My creature has to have 146 power. Sure, a land. That lets me, like, do stupid crap. This is great. Oh yeah, sure, we'll set the stop now. It's a good call, Cat. Yeah, that's great. Gain 146 life, go to 237, pass turn. So, like, I think if we... Yeah, so if we activate the ability twice, I think we just gain 12 life, is how this works. I'm, like, kind of just, like, not doing math properly, but I think that's correct between Arvad... No, we gain, like, 8 life or something. Between Arvad and the Jousting Lands. Let's see how this works. We're at 140... Yeah, okay. And then we do it again. Yeah, we gain some amount of life. It, like, vaguely matters. Now we'll do it before attacking. Yeah, this is a keeper of a game. This draft has definitely had enough interesting games that this will have to go up on the YouTube. Cotilion's actually been extremely helpful in backlogging some noteworthy streams to like post to YouTube. I just need to figure out like a posting schedule or something. But yeah. Oh, hey, look, a Slimefoot. Eventually, they'll deal small amounts of damage to us. Well, actually, also they can make like infinite chump blockers. So now we have to like do something. Although if they ever tap the Slimefoot, I could just get rid of it with Seal Away. I mean, I suppose what I should do is play the Windgrace Acolyte, but that's not fun, is it? Oh, no, wait. They still have Mammoth Spider, so... should I flip it now? Yeah? I mean, I could play the Seal Away. That seems dumb. Flip! Our creature has 399 power. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that, I suppose. I don't even want to play the Windgrace Acolyte. I have some concern that... Well, I guess, like, we're not close enough to milling that is a concern. Let's attack first. Oh, at this point, I think we're reasonably favored to get above 395, but I appreciate the screenshot. Someone should, like, clip something that happens at the end of this game. Like our highest life total or us winning somehow. Do I play the Windgrace Acolyte? Still gain life by doing this. What did we lose? Oh, a bunch of stuff I wanted. That's really annoying. I mean, someday we could draw Eldest Reborn and get back Quende. Annoyingly, Quende would have been our next draw. Need to start taking action. Why do I need to start taking action? Yeah, sure. I'm more concerned about causing some sort of, like, variable overflow at this point than, like, losing the game. Combat. Attack. Put the stop there. I think I'll probably flip this before damage again, though. Flip. Okay, well, our creature now has 647 power. I'm gonna block their flyer, I guess? Yeah, that seems good. Okay, drew a land. Land is fine. Yeah. Let's go ahead and attack, I think. I think attack is good. I mean, like... I think the worst case scenario is that our opponent mills after this game runs for an absurdly long time and we get to just, like, some unfashionably hilarious life total. I think that's the worst case scenario. I mean, they might eventually just have removal for Evra, because frankly, they're a black deck. It's likely. Although, it can't be, like, Vicious Offering. But the thing is, like, at this point, even if Evra dies, like, how do they ever kill us? Like, I just don't think they can get enough mana to have enough Saprolings to do enough damage to win. Alright. Let's floop the pig. Do the thing. Great. Great, a lifelinker. Just what I needed. Go combat. Attack. Attack with this one. I don't think I'll play Mesa Unicorn this turn, because I just want to keep the Seal Away up. This is getting a little ridiculous. Did you look that up, Demolition? Is there some sort of cap on what the game will let you have as a life total? Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll, like, become a Reddit meme. That would be fun. I would actually really enjoy it if that happened. I've cast like one spell in the last like 10 turns. Who needs spells when you have Evra at 1053? I mean, seriously. I mean, they could just attack with all their saprolings and it just wouldn't matter to me. Like, I would just not... Or just not. Great. Evra's currently at 1,707. Seems reasonable. Cool. Yeah, let's let that first strike damage happen. Oh no, we lost a life, you guys. Now we're only at 2,759. I am amazed and quite pleased that our opponent is for some reason playing this out. If only I could give Evra vigilance so that they could attack into it and gain us more life. Well, I don't have the stop set. It's important to have the stop set. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's floop. Are we at the point? No, we can't triple floop yet. Just gonna let it go one time. Hey, look, a 5-drop flyer. That could do something someday. I mean, it won't, but it could. Let's go to attacks. Uh-huh. How many cards do we have in our library? 11, and they have 5. And in our 11 cards are 2 different copies of Eldest Reborn, which could eventually let us get Quende back, which would give Evra double strike, which would be hilarious. I'm gonna play Saray. You have enough to seal away and floop Evra. Setting a stop. So, like, if we were, like, behind on cards... Well, okay. If we were behind on cards, then I'd be like, well, you know, maybe we have to, like, figure out something other than just hilariously gaining atrocious amounts of life. They got Whisper. They have something useful they can do with Whisper? They don't have, like, a thing that, like, kills my guy when it comes into play or something. Okay. You may have Whisper. Uh-huh. Make another one? No, you don't have enough for another one. You have 2, I think. It's unclear to me whether it's showing all the mana because the board state has become comical. Attacks. Block. Floop Evra. Alright. Okay. Alright. I mean, that doesn't really do anything. Sure, though. Go to combat. Attack. I mean, hypothetically, we could put first strike on the Sarah Angel and then, like, pressure them to win, but they're at 20, and I just want to gain as much life as possible at this point, because now we're at 7,236 life. Sorry, 7,235 life. So let's just pass. I mean, I'll play the Drudge Sentinel, I guess. Yeah, I have enough to double floop if it reaches the end of their turn and gain... I don't even think I want to do that, though. Welcome back, Alcadius. Please observe the board state. I know you're not much of a Magic player, but this game has become interesting. I hope you had a good time. Hey, look, it's Torgar! Famine Incarnate. That's amazing. That's really funny. So that was our opponent's game plan. So, in case you don't remember, Torgar will set our life total to 20. Now, the problem with that being, our life total is going to then become 7,239. They did it! I'm actually really... This game is fantastic. This is one of the best games of Magic I've played in a long time. So, I mean, yeah, that's mildly disappointing, but now our life total will simply become, like, you know, 7,000 when we attack again. Doesn't do us any good to floop it again. Yeah, we can recover, says Cat. Yeah. I mean, if they're trying to, like, burn us out, like, we have the mana to just, like, go up to 7,000 and then switch back during our turn to attack and get huge. So, like, they can't just, like, Saproling us out. Luckily, we did save the mana to double Flute for no particular reason. Because, like, there's hypothetically a world in which we play this such that they can just, like, win there. This is such a fantastically stupid game of Magic the Gathering. Hey, look, it's the Eldest Reborn. They have 2 cards in their library. Do I think they have another Torgar or a way to... Oh no, they're going to use Whisper to bring Torgar back. I understand. That's actually really annoying. Only because it stops us from, like... Because we can... Yeah, I think we actually have to not attack this turn, which is dumb. We can only afford to spend 3 mana, which is pointless. So we just do nothing, unfortunately. Because, like, now what they're trying to do is recur Torgar. So they sacrificed the Torgar to bring back a different creature, so that on this following turn they could sacrifice 2 Saplings to bring back the Torgar. They're trying to trick us into creating a window where they can sacrifice enough Saplings to kill us from 10 after Torgar sets our life total to 10. Isn't this an incredible game of Magic? Like, this is great. I'm so glad that we survived long enough for this game to happen. So what we need are more lands so that we can triple flute the Evra, so that we can make sure to always have enough mana to deal damage to them, but, like, keep out of the death window. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, Torgar's back. See, I know how Torgar works. Torgar and I go way back. Cool. Oh, shoot. I didn't... Oh, crap. Oh, that's so stupid. I forgot to respond. Oh, that's embarrassing. Now I lose, because I'm just, like, not paying attention. For some reason, I was thinking I, like... Yeah, no, that was really dumb. Oh, that was really embarrassing. uh... I think we're... Yeah, I'm gonna eviscerate the Slimefoot. That way it, like, prevents them from just casually, like, killing us with, like, a ton of creatures dying. Oh, wait, did I click the wrong thing? I guess I clicked the wrong thing. It's not what I meant to do. I was really pretty sure I highlighted the eviscerate. Now I'm gonna seal away Whisper so they can't bring back Torgar again. Or Slimefoot, for that matter. No attacks. Picked up an emulator to play Herbs. Nicely done, Demolition. And busting out, I see. That's problematic. Well, that's really embarrassing, because this definitely should have been a game I could win, but I don't think I can win now. So let's see. If we block this, and... I don't know. Sapperling, Sapperling. I really hate... This game really does not handle, like, large token boards, like, well at all. We went to 1! Oh my god, after I punted this game like 6 times, we still managed to survive. It's the dumbest game of Magic that's ever been played! Oh my god! Oh my god. Oh. I mean... hypothetically, there's some justice in that, because if I had just, like, been paying more attention instead of having, like, stream fatigue, then, like, I definitely couldn't have possibly lost that game, even with their, like, clutch play at the end. But, like, really, I deserve to lose that because I started playing really badly. Well, let's see what happened to the last game. I can't even. I hope someone clipped us going to 1. And in case anyone wasn't paying attention, on the turn they attacked us to 1, they had no cards left in their library. So just by us passing the turn, they lose the game. Because if you can't draw a card from your library, you lose. Like if you have an empty library and try to draw a card, you lose the game. Okay, well that happened. Do we keep his hand? I mean, it has Seal Away, Sarah Angel, and Eldest Reborn, but we're going first. Blood Tallow Candle is basically like a 7 drop. For all intents and purposes. Like minimum 6 drop. I think we mulligan, but I don't like it. That's like kind of close, but I'm pretty sure that's a mulligan. This isn't great, but I like it a lot better than the last hand. Do I want a Stronghold Confessor? I think no. Oh my god. I can't believe that whole game. Thank you guys for putting that on the Discord. Oh nice, we drew into a 2-drop. That was like all I've ever wanted. It's also our best 2-drop. Oh, nice. Nice. Blue-black. Uh-oh. Not Tetsuko! Cue Ironsides from, Oh crap, I don't have a white permanent. Oops. No attacks, I guess. Not that I can really block. I'm glad that you are enjoying the journey of whatever this is, Demolition. I hope they don't play Karn's Temporal Sundering, or whatever that card is called. I mean, interestingly, by equipping the sword, I can hypothetically block it. It's just a bad block, so I won't. Okay, well, we're up to 5 mana, so we can play Arvad someday. Since I can't reasonably block, I will attack. We'll play Arvad, who can block 2-power Tetsuko reasonably well. And then Evra comes out. Let's see what happens. Have a white permanent, take additional damage. Rawr! Oh my god. I think you won that because he blew up after you went to 1. So, that's mostly correct. I mentioned before he might have been like AFK or something, but I went to 1, but he also, our opponent had no cards in their library, so if they tried to start their next turn, they would lose the game because that's one way you can lose the game. I could kill their thing, or I could simply play Evra, Halcyon Witness, while they can't counter it. This plan seems more entertaining. No, so, Tetsuko can't be blocked by nature of the fact that it says creatures you control with power toughness 1 with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked. Normally Tetsuko has 1 power and thus can't be blocked. It isn't actually unblockable if you make it not have power or toughness 1, which they've done by giving it +1 power. So I don't know, like, it's possible our opponent hasn't noticed that, because I think a lot of people would actually miss that, just assuming that Tetsuko is, like, unblockable, because, like, why wouldn't it be? But, like, if they attack, like, Evra could block it, and it'd be good. I mean, assuming they don't have, like, a pump spell, but, like, blue-black doesn't really do that. Black has, like, fungal infection, which isn't enough to make that matter. It has Vicious Offering, but then they would be trading, like, 2 cards for the Evra, which they could sort of do anyway. Alright, well, I'm likely to hit that with a candle now. Ah! They sort of figured it out. The question is, will they attack with the Tetsuko? If they do, it will indicate to me that they... Alright, well, they didn't attack with anything. That's one way to do it. Oh, wait, is this the one that brings it back? Shaded creature dies, return it to its owner's hand. So... yeah. What we do is we attack with Evra, and then if they try to do something cute, then we kill one of their creatures. Uh-huh. Okay. I don't think there's a way that they can, like, get me here. Like, they can't, like, counter a permanent that's on the field. There's no, like, disallow in this format to stop the activated ability from resolving. So, like, that thing dies, it goes back to your hand, and then I just, like, kill your 1/3 and gain 6 life. Okay, great. Yes, bottom line is we did win that game. It's debatable whether or not we should have won that game, because that game should have been unlosable, and then I just, like, didn't pay attention to my timing correctly with Torgar, and I put myself in a position where I probably should have lost, and yet somehow we got set to 1. Alright, they played that card again. Well, if we end up in a milling race, we're ahead again. We're at 20, we're at 28. Cards in library. Sure. I don't think we're in a stable enough position that I want to start switching Evra's life, or switching Evra's power with my life total yet. The reason being that even if they don't block or whatever, like, they can bounce the creature, and if they do that after I've switched my life total with it, then my life total is 6, and I'm just in terrible shape. So I think we just attack with Evra, see what happens, like, gain some more life. Oh, I should have attacked with the Knight too. My bad. Because then I had his first strike, so it could kill it even if it blocked. And then I'm just going to kick the Sergeant at Arms. Looking for Jousting Lance and absurd amounts of mana. I mean, we're already up to, like, the amount of mana we had for much of that last game, Cat. The problem is just that we need to be in a position where we can make the first pair of swaps. We want Evra's power and our life total to be high enough that, like, one thing going wrong doesn't cause us to be at, like, 6 and then die. Like, that's the trick with Evra, and why it, like, looks a lot better than it is. Like, Evra's a good card, don't get me wrong. But you may recall that the last time we did one of these drafts, I opted not to take it first. And one of the reasons for that is, like, there are some ways that playing with Evra can go, like, catastrophically wrong. So you have to be, like, careful about that. Now, drawing the Jousting Lance does... Oh, that's a good draw. Yes. Yes, please. I'm going to assume they will sacrifice the Windgrace Acolyte, because... reasons. Tetsuko can't be blocked, but what about Tetsuo? I don't think Tetsuo is in Dominaria Limited. Otherwise, I would consider that. So, if they have fungal infection, I would still kill their creature, and I'd be able to get Evra back with Eldest Reborn. So, I think that's like the worst thing. No, the worst thing that could happen is Vicious Offering for 2, which makes mine a 4/4 and it just dies, but I think that's still worth making the attack because it gets a card out of their hand. Again, we can get Evra back with the Eldest Reborn, and then if we like do that, then like they have to play out everything from their hand next turn, and we know we have like perfect information for a while. No, I suppose that could happen too. Sure. But again, you know, they have to get that card out of their hand. They don't get to kick it because they have to do it right now. If they don't play whatever cards in their hand, which I assume they will. Okay. That's, like, pretty annoying for us, no doubt. But the bright side is, I mean, like, we can sort of gang block their turtle. The discard's not going to do anything on our turn, but then they'll just have, like, a 1/3. Because we can, like, their guy just has hexproof. It doesn't have, like, first strike or anything that, like, kills our guys first. So we can just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put both of the tokens on there just because. Actually, wait, they have literal nothing. So I want. 2. It doesn't actually make a difference because I can't, like, pump it or anything. So I'm just gonna, in case some, like, impossible scenario happens, I'm just gonna super block. I have some tokens! Sure, you have a 2/4. Ooh, discard a card. Actually, Windgray's Acolyte's like really good right before Eldest Reborn's about to go off. Although I'm pretty sure I know what my target is. Tragic Poet is an interesting one, though. No attacks. Any combos I haven't done yet? You mean like color-wise? You're just asking about color combos being viable? I mean, I'm trying to build a collection of decks for my preferred format, Commander, in every pair of colors. Because I like 2-color decks more than like 3 and 4-color decks. It's kind of a popular thing for like deck builders to like make like all 32 possible combinations of colors for Commander. So like a colorless, a 5-color, 5 1-color decks, 10 2-color decks, 10 3-color decks, etc. Alright, so here's their garbage. I could get a turtle. Here's my garbage. I could get Evra, Arvad, or Tragic Poet. Board looks like 4/4 and a 1/3. That's actually kind of close. I mean, if I get the Tragic Poet, then I can make them sacrifice creatures over time, but, like, can't I do that with Evra? I think Evra's still just the best. It's, like, moderately close, I guess, but I think it's just best. I should attack with the flyer, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm going to take damage from this. So, if they play whatever card that is, it's likely I'll finally have a shot to floop Evra and then start, like, really getting ahead. Depending on what it is, they, like, can't attack, maybe? We've had some pretty interesting games today. Some of our early ones were sort of like, we kind of just, like our first opponent was like playing like less exciting version of our deck and kind of just had a bad draw. But like some of these games have been kind of absurd. Yeah, Jousting Lance does like change a bunch of stuff. That's annoying. Yeah, I don't think I want to just set my life total to 4 for no value. But now that they have nothing, like if they attack, I just attack them and we're like way ahead. So we're not in bad shape, but it's just annoying that that happened. I play another creature. I suppose I just attack. If they don't have another creature, then like attacking into our guys is a trade. I mean, we could just draw the other Eldest Reborn. We also just have a flyer right now, so like if they just can't present enough pressure to like kill us from 33 rather. I mean, I could trade my whole board for his 4-2. I'm not gonna do that. If they attack, I'll just take 4 damage. Play 1 land. I mean, they kind of have to do something about this flyer or they're dead in 2 turns. So, like, as annoying as it is that they've had some good counters to our stuff. They, like, bounced a guy and made us discard it. I'll trade 1 card for this. And take 4 damage. Yeah. I'll give him the oops. I suppose I could have just taken that. That was also my oops. Because if I had just taken that, they'd be dead now. I'm gonna remain conservative because... yeah. I think swapping in response was the right play. They didn't have any cards left to respond. Okay, but the problem in that situation, ditto... I don't know if you're being facetious or not. But in that case, switching sets our life total to 4, in which case we would already have lost this game. That being said, our opponent is now at 2 life, but they have a Demon Lord Belzenlock. So we need to either deal with the Demon Lord Belzenlock or make our threats... I mean, maybe we could just go wide around them. But we can't attack in the air anymore because he has like a 6/6 flyer. We have like a lot of good draws left. Like when we milled ourselves with the Windgraze Acolyte, we didn't hit anything like extremely important. That's annoying. Well, now they're at 5. They're also at 7 cards in their library. Wait, did they draw? Oh. They drew the Windgrace Acolyte off of, So when Demon Lord Belzenlock enters the battlefield, you exile cards from the top of your library until you hit a non-land card. Oh, okay, I thought it had to hit one that cost 4 or greater. So the card he drew must have been the Stronghold Confessor. But yeah, if we had swapped in response to them killing Evra, we would have just set our life total to 4 and been dead. So like that's not ideal. That's a gutsy attack. I'm gonna take it. I mean, I guess they still have this 3/2 flyer. I think they're gonna move the equipment. I'm not sure if it matters. Like, the flyers trade either way if they end up in combat. Okay. This will get us somewhere someday. Actually, this is pretty good, right? Because if they sacrifice an untapped creature, are they dead? Let's assume they block the 3 and a 2, they would take 4. So they would take 4, trade flyers, and kill one of our tokens. I think I'm just gonna attack. It's like a little gutsy, but I think this is correct. So we like trade our flyers, which is fine. Like I'm fine simplifying the board as much as possible. This deals 4 damage to them, so now it's like way easier to just like lethal them. Like they have to have a creature now. Because like if they just don't have a creature, even if they stay on full defense, I mean they could have a removal spell also. But if they have a removal spell, they have to play it before our draw step. So we, like, know about it. Okay. So Invoke the Divine is good. So we just attack? They're at 1. Good game. We did it! That was like definite last match, right? Hey, we ranked up! This gem looks considerably less exciting than the previous one. I think I said that when we got the last one. Cool. So that means we get 2 packs and more than our entry fee back, I think? I think is how that works. Onward to victory! What an appropriate card to get at the end of a 7-win clan prize. Yeah, we got like 200 extra gems and 2 packs. Also, we got to play that glorious game with Evra. Oh, accidentally opened our vault. We had a vault charged up after last time. Enjoy these wild cards. Clan prize. Clan packs. Open dem packs. What do we get? Maybe a Sarah Angel. Surprisingly, that Sarah Angel didn't do much for us in those games. I still think it was the correct pick over the Blessed Light, but I think it's real close. I think that's a real close pick. At least given our deck. Ooh, another Zahid. Might make that Zahid deck I really want. Okay. Also, out of interest, I think at this point we've opened enough Dominaria packs, and I'm going to save our gold for the next expansion, so I don't think I'm going to buy any more packs for a while. I'm not sure we actually own a Time of Ice yet. It's an interesting saga that, like, taps permanents and locks them down for as long as Time of Ice is out, and then on the third one, returns all tapped creatures to their owner's hands. So, like, it discourages them from attacking when it's about to go off, and also it, like, forces some other stuff to get bounced. Ooh, Blackblade Reforged. Now it really wants me to play the Zahid deck. Because, like, that's, like, the basis of the deck, is, like, play Blackblade, play early Zahid, equip. Daring Archaeologist. It's an interesting one. I don't think this is great, but it's an interesting card. You play a historic spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it enters the battlefield, you can take an artifact from your graveyard and put it back in your hand. Alright, well that's all our packs, and that's all our draft. So, it's only 7:30. It's actually a little later than I thought it was, but that was definitely worth playing through. That was a great time. Yeah, real quick, let's talk about the Evra thing, because it seems like there's some like mild confusion. So there's this easy trap to fall into with Evra, where if you don't pay like close attention to like how it's worded, it seems like it just becomes like an avatar of your life total. But it actually only changes its power. So it exchanges its power with your life total. So say you haven't taken any damage, you're at 20, she's a 4/4, you switch, you have 4 life, she has 20 power but is a 24. So her toughness is still 4. So like, if they have like two power creatures, they could still kill the Evra. But the bigger problem is like playing against a blue-black deck, which we were in that last game. If I like switch my life total, it doesn't make Evra any more difficult to kill, but it sets my life total really low. And you know, we saw them have a couple of like big flyers. So like even just that demon attacking us like once, if we happen to set our life total to 4 at an inopportune time, means we just lose the game. So it's like a real, like most people who read that card like understood it to be that in the beginning. So they're like, oh man, if you ever get 4 mana, like if you untap and have 4 mana and your life total's like fine, then like Evra's unstoppable. But like Evra's actually a really interesting card, and that you have to play really strategically with it, because like it can do ridiculous stuff like it did in that penultimate game where we got up to like 7,200 life, or it can just make you die. It's a fun card. I'm glad we got to play with it and do some really stupid stuff, but like it's a little trickier to use than it first looks like, because there's a lot of pitfalls. Even like I was in a basically unlosable situation and I just like didn't think to flip my life total at the correct time, and then I just almost died from like 7,000 life. But that game was epic and I have no regrets. So, this will definitely be saved for posterity. This is definitely my favorite Dominaria draft that I've done, even though this deck looked a little sketchier when we started. But I'm glad it seems like everyone had fun. I did too. As I mentioned in the description, and last week I will be away for. Well, I'll be away this Saturday and next Wednesday. I may take next Saturday off just to sort of like stabilize my life a little bit after vacation, just to like do errands and things that I won't have done for the better part of a week. I will just like, follow me on Twitter and Discord and you'll know what's up. But yeah, summer vacation. I'm going to Vegas with the family, doing some really cool stuff. Really looking forward to it. I could like now is a perfect time to take a vacation because like even though like work's kind of slow, so like nothing is likely to go terribly wrong. But like I've been getting a lot of like headaches and weird stuff, and I think it's just like too much time at work. So looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys don't miss me too much, but we'll be back soon. Hopefully by the time we're back, we'll even have the sub badges online, but I don't even know when affiliates get those. So that might not be until after I get back anyway. But yeah, this was an awesome draft. I'm really glad we got to do this. Hopefully you guys just enjoy the drafts in general. This is something I really like doing. And I know it's like a little hard for you guys to like follow along sometimes because there's a lot of things to keep track of in Magic. If you ever have questions, always ask. I know a lot about the rules, and sometimes I over-internalize stuff and don't explain it as well as I could. I'm trying to get better about that, but seriously, if you ever have any questions, just ask. Like, the Evra thing is, like, kind of a hard thing to learn, but, like, once you get it, it's, you understand why switching there is bad. But yeah, that was great. Everyone have a great rest of the evening. I will see you in, like a week and a half or 2 weeks or something. We'll be back soon. In the meantime, there's plenty of other things to enjoy. So, yeah. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Be good. Be good to each other. Take care, guys.